So remember, we are in this time of very, very powerful fire, Aries energy. We're moving forward with what we're doing. And when you're moving forward with what you're doing, you're not taking the focus off of you and what you're bringing into this world. And that is why you do not look at divine masculine to, see what they're doing. Or I would do it to see how I'm doing. I need to know my progress on it. No, absolutely not. You stay fully focused on you and what you're doing. That is how this thing works. And you can't cheat it. You can't backdoor feed it. You have to be super strict and super honest about the ways that you're still leaking energy, where you're still entertaining some energetic hits when they come in and you like to indulge. Maybe it's a song. Maybe you like to listen to that one song that reminds you of them. And that's just like, okay, but that's just my little thing, but it's not chasing, it gives me some comfort. Actually, you gotta be so pure with this. You gotta be so pure. Stop listening to that song. It's chasing energy. It's not what you want to hear, but it is. And if you're like, I don't understand, I've been doing all the things, but where are they? What are you doing that is still somehow not fully focusing on you? If they come in energetically, are you releasing them and calling it back to you, or are you kind of dancing with it a bit? Because if you're not at that stage where you're really balancing in them in a sacred energy, this is not the time to do that, because they have to get strong just like you have to get strong. And you don't want to stay stuck and looping in this forever. So get very clear with those boundaries and get very honest with yourself, because this is a time where we are moving so fast, so powerfully, that we need to be very strong in ourselves, and we don't want to have a weaker version of self showing up, whether it's for ourselves or whether it's being reflected in the masculine. So we start with ourselves first in order to do that deeper work, in order to really transform the dynamic that we're seeing reflected outside of ourselves in the other self. So remember that those boundaries, the first time you set them, and especially if it's energetic, you might do it from a place of being like pissed off or annoyed or like, no, you can't come in. I'm over it. And that's fine. That's fine if you do that. But remember to take the time to actually transmute that energy of being annoyed and being angry. Because we don't just want to be acting from that and setting boundaries in that way. Because then if you're feeling like lovey-dovey and blissed out, and then you're like, oh, it's okay, they can come in and we have this nice exchange. No, because in both cases you're identifying and acting out of that, when really we need to be neutral and called back to center at all times. We're not latching ourselves onto either, polarity. We want to swing back and forth. We want to stay centered. So they come in, they don't come in, we're not leaving our center. And we're very neutral and peaceful about it. And that's what makes the feminine feel safe. When she's not being pulled in directions from what's happening on the outside or from an emotion that comes up and acting out of that. No. Because the more you do that, the more you are lifting into these higher frequencies of bliss, of wholeness, and you just feel good. You feel good with or without them. and you feel good about your work, you feel good about the people in your life, what you're doing, and that's what makes the feminine feel safe. And in that frequency is when divine masculine comes in as well and just holds steady and supports that. And neither are getting thrown off. So that ability to transmute and to detach from these emotions is so essential. So that, go into your techniques, whether it's breathing, breath work, dancing, exercise, whatever it is. And know that when you set that boundary, the next time, observe. Is it still out of that frustration, pissed off? Or are you doing it now just by being very, neutral and casual about it? And being like, nope, back to me. Nope, back to me. Nope, not enough, back to me. Because that's also how you know that you're lifting this out. And in doing that, you are raising your vibration and becoming stronger and centered in self. I hope this helps. I am sending you so much love